Morning, everyone. Hope y'all can hear me okay. Today we're using microphone 2 as microphone 1 for some reason didn't charge fully up. This one seems to broadcast my voice a little louder, so I've moved the microphone further away from me because I cannot figure out how to turn down with the transmitter. So hopefully I'm not absolutely blaring into your guys' earballs right now. So good morning, my name is Ellie. It's a beautiful day here at Dunrovin. It looks like it's going to be partly cloudy, and it's going to be, it probably is already above freezing. It was rather cold this morning because it was a wet cold. Really soaks through your clothes into your bones. I had to put on 2 pairs of fuzzy gloves under my ranch gloves even. So my fingers were just so cold when I first got here. The horses don't mind that, the equines, because they are so fluffy right now. They've got an undercoat, an overcoat. They're nice and warm. They don't need any extra feed to keep them hot. So, anybody watching on YouTube, welcome to Days at Dunrovin. To all of our online family members, welcome back. We love you guys. Today we're going to be doing Ellie's equine education. Essentially, we are doing some body work, and I'll be explaining whys and hows, and I'll be on the microphone to explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, that sort of thing. After the body work, which will be for our 2 guide horses, we'll be doing some training with our baby horses, Jax and Lucy. Jax is 4 and Lucy is 3. They're still learning some of the basics. We want them to be the best horses they can be, and repetition is as important as trying something new with them. Our goal right now with the babies is to work our way through Pat Pirelli's 7 games. We don't always adhere to one school of training or another, but they are very organized and step 1 through 7 form of working towards a goal while not being boring for the babies. We also will be doing a demonstration of the games with one of our longtime herd horses, Rocket. He has been with us since 2009 and is very, very well trained, but a little lazy, so we'll see how he does. Jax, one of the babies, is a little lazy himself, so it'll be a good exercise in seeing, maybe working with Rocket will give me some ideas of how to apply it to Jax. And also having a demo horse shows, hey, this is what we want to get to on this game or this game. Right now, for those of you that have are tuning in new or have missed a few weeks, the babies are still on game 2, which is yielding to steady pressure. It's called Porcupine game. We always go through all of the games up until that point for repetition. So we will be starting both the babies on game 0. I call it Patience game. It doesn't actually exist. I made it up. Well, I didn't make it up, but I made up the name. So while I'm working with Rocket and while I'm working with one or the other of them, they will be tied up. And it is literally just to work on patience. Game 1 is friendly game, and it is all about petting them and making them feel good, and then also about desensitizing them to our tools. We use swinging ropes or lunge whips or our hands to engage with them. The former 2, the rope and the lunge whip, are just extensions of our arms though, because horses are much bigger than us, and sometimes we need a longer arm to tell them what we mean. However, you don't want horses that are afraid of either of these tools. So we pet them, we tell them they're good, we find their little scritchy spots that they like a bunch, and then we also rub the lunge whip or the rope all over their body so that they're used to it, swing it around them. They need to know when we're asking them something with the tool and when the tool is just an object. So I will be getting this mic clipped onto myself properly. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. I might pull up the YouTube real quick. So I will be out in the barnyard in a couple minutes, and we will be starting with mysteries, bodywork, and stretches. Be right there. Good morning, everyone. Again. Hello. Hi. He's one of our guide horses at Dunrovin. So he puts in a lot of miles for us out on the trail. He wound up with a hurt back at the end of this season. Yeah. We're doing body work. Body work is kind of an encompassing word for doing stretches and exercises to improve your horse's physical health. In this case, it is a combination of stretches and exercises. Right now I'm just petting him. They have been prescribed by a veterinarian chiropractor. Horses get chiropractors too. Makes sense. They got a lot of backs, a lot of bones, a lot of joints. So these are essentially prescription exercises. We'll be doing them with Mystery first. Wait some time so you'll see how they're supposed to look. And then we'll also be doing them with Chinook, our other guide horse. And he's catching on, but there's a couple of them he hasn't quite figured out yet. So I'm going to ask him to square up. Oh, good boy. Can you move over? Good boy. Great. Very good, buddy. And the first one we're going to do is wither pulls. So I'm just pulling his wither up here. Is the highest point of the horse's body. It's where we measure from. I'm pulling it towards me 5 times. When I pull it towards me, he flexes one way, and then he has to use the muscles on the other side to pull it back. Flexing laterally, bending as they move is normal while in motion, but it is a little weird to them to be doing it standing still. So Mystery here has done this quite a bit. But you'll see when I start with Chinook, Chinook does not like it because he doesn't quite understand what I'm asking or why. And again, like I said, it's got to feel pretty weird. Very good, Mystery. Easy peasy for you, huh, bud? Yeah, you've been doing so good. Next one I like to do is the tail pull. I'm going to make sure for my safety first that he has weight on both feet. And I'm going to grab his tail. He's going to fart on me for it. Thank you. And then I'm just going to lean back with my weight. He leans into it because it feels good. Good boy. I'm just going to hold it for a few seconds, as long as I feel safe doing it. Keep in mind that horses have an actual tail under all this hair. I'm not pulling on his hair right now. And then I'm going to gently release. Good boy. They have what's called a dock, is their actual tail. You won't be able to see it probably where it ends, but I'm just going to tell you that there's a bone. It's part of their spine. That is their tail that goes to about here, at least on Mystery. I've seen some that are shorter and some that are longer, but the bone ends here. So I'm not pulling on his hair, which I mean with a big handful wouldn't hurt him too bad, but I am pulling physically on his spine. I kind of wish I could do that to myself. All right, next up we're going to do some rotations, some hip rotations. So I'm just going to run my hand down his leg for him to pick up his foot for me. I'm going to hold it low to the ground. So Chinook's been starting to understand this one. And we're just going to draw circles with his toe in the dirt, 5 in each direction. Good job. This is flexing his hip, stretching it, and it's engaging his hip on the other side up here. Good boy, Mystery. I'm going to switch legs, run my hand down his leg so he knows to shift his weight for me. Thank you. They almost always pick up too high on the back. Just kind of a natural response from them. I'm going to hold it a little lower to the ground. Interesting. I actually feel his hock popping as I'm doing this. I'm going to go really slow this direction because it always does feel weird when one of your joints pops like that. Even though it's not harmful, it's just some CO2 buildup in your joints. See, weird around this one. Probably because there's a way I can rotate his hock a little bit, stretch it. I don't think so. Not that I know of, so I'll wait for the chiropractor to come out. She can give us some more intel. So the next one, Mystery doesn't like, I'm asking him to square up. So he yields to my pressure on his hip, thank you. And I want weight on both feet, perfect. And I'm gonna ask him to like kind of tuck his butt up by putting pressure, good boy, good job. Putting pressure back here makes him kind of hunch his butt up. So he's using these muscles up here to pull his butt up a little bit. Engaging. He's not doing it very high, but since he doesn't like this one and he's behaving really well, I'm accepting, you know, just a little bit of movement because it's a step in the right direction. Good boy. Very good. Yes, good job. And then the next one, instead of hunching his butt, we're going to be asking him to hunch his back. This one, I will ask him with some pressure on his belly first to do it. But then if the pressure is not working, I will be running my fingers backwards along his fur on his tummy, which he doesn't like. I also don't like that he cocked his foot on this side. Mystery wouldn't try to hurt me, but an annoying feeling on their belly, sometimes they kick up at their belly because it reminds them of like a fly biting them or something. So I'm going to move to the side where he has all of his weight because then he'd have to shift his weight to kick. He can kick back, he can kick up, which they can do with their back feet. So I'm going to ask him first, push up, not working, so we're going to run our fingers forward. Good boy, that was so good. And as I said, if he does kick up at his belly, it's not because he's trying to hurt me, because it's annoying. Good boy, good job, Mystery, yes. His weight's on his left. Focus this way. After this one, I will be taking him into the arena for a moment because I'm going to have him walk over some ground poles. Like I said, in motion, all of these movements are natural to the horses, like even hunching their back like that. They have to engage their core. They have abs down here just like we do, and they have to engage their back to step over obstacles, and it helps strengthen their back muscles and their core muscles. Oh boy, so I'm just going to take him in there real quick, and then after that we've got a couple more stretches, which are Mystery's favorite, because they involve treats. Yes, they involve treats, good boy. Alright, so I'm going to take him in. I already opened the gate, because last time he tried to like walk through the ice puddle. I was like, buddy, just go around, come on. So we're just going to take him in and walk him over the ground poles. That will be asking him at a movement to engage his back. Before we start for the riding season, we will have a rider on him doing ground pulls and after his exercises as well. And despite looking like spring, I have a feeling we're gonna get at least one more giant snowstorm. There's no way that this winter has been this mild. That's actually insane. Like, yeah, we got one deep freeze, but we always get one deep freeze. And of course it was on a day that I worked outside here. So, he's just stepping over the ground poles. We're going to do this, I think, 2 more times. We've only been doing it twice, but he's moving really well. I noticed that he's been back to doing his running walk, which when his back was hurting, he wasn't doing the Tennessee walk or running walk. Yes, I know, it's very boring. Too bad. He's nudging me with his nose like, Ellie, this is not stimulating. No, I'm sorry. It's good for you. So he's engaging his back and his core to step over. We might even at some point pull out the collar poles for even more stepping. I know, very boring. One more time. Are you gonna poop in here? You're gonna make me pick up the pooping. Do it. They like to poop at the most inopportune time. Sometimes you just gotta go. Alright, so that was it for just walking over ground poles. The last step of this bodywork for mystery is what's called carrot scratches. You know, carrots are treats though, because you're asking them to do a kind of movement that's unfamiliar to them without bribing them to do big stretches. So I'm going to step inside. I try not to have the treats in my pocket because it distracts them. So I'm going to step inside and he's going to stay outside. Yeah, this is how we get you stripes. He's very happy. He gets like a little lip wiggle when he's excited and when he's anxious. It kind of reminds me of how cats can purr to self-soothe as well as purr when they're happy. So, like, some horses are like cat dogs. Some horses are just Labrador retrievers. And some are per cat. So I'm gonna put a treat in my hand, but I'm gonna ask him to reach all the way forward. Be a good stretch, and then I'm gonna ask him to flex around as far down and around as I can get him, and I'm gonna try to get him to hold it as long as I can safely, because he is trying to get the treat out of my hand. Next one, other side, same thing. You gotta reach all the way forward, my friend. All the way. Big stretch. Oh yeah, all the way stretch. And then we're gonna hug. He's being nice and gentle while trying to grab the treats. The other horses are impatient because they want to go down. Well, they've got to wait. I don't want to let the horses down, the herd down while I'm working with a select few, especially the babies will get, oh, you go follow down. The babies will get super anxious if mama leaves them. Good boy! Good job! That was perfect! So that's it for mystery. Easy peasy, huh? Just some stretches, little exercises. It's like, if you guys have had PT, physical therapy. I had to have it when I broke my collarbone. Horse-related accident, not here. It was about, what, 7 years ago at this point? And, sorry about the screech. The PT, like, saved my life. I would not have been able to move my arm if I hadn't gone to the physical therapist. Alright, so we're gonna put Mystery's halter back, and he's gonna stay in here. We have a different halter for every horse. Some will fit another, but some really, really won't. I tried to put Mystery's halter on Lucy thinking, well, Lucy's a baby. Her head's not too big. I'm sure it'll fit. Nope. Lucy's head's gotten bigger. So, but next up we're going to do the exact same process with Chinook, but you will see what it looks like more so when you first start these types of exercises than whereas Mystery's been doing them for months. The follow-up visit from the chiropractor, she said that she was very impressed with how much better he's been doing and what a good job we've been doing with his body work. I have a feeling the way she looked thrilled that some people get the chiropractor out and then don't actually do the exercises she recommends, which I imagine would be frustrating, and that's part of why she was so excited to see his progress and that we've been doing the bodywork stretches 2 to 3 times a week. Alright, so we're going to grab Chinook now, our other guide horse. Hi, my love. Those of you that are newly tuning in, potentially, Chinook you will always see in a mask. He has what's called moon blindness. Means he's sensitive to UV. So he's essentially just wearing horsey sunglasses all the time. Good boy. He's also fully blind in his right eye from the same disease. Come on here. Unfortunately, but it's very, very fun to work with him. moon blindness. I don't know if I talked about this. Yay, a new thing for those of you that tune in weekly, so I'm not just saying the same thing over and over. Moon blindness was actually, we can find record of it as far back as 1600, which was pretty cool. And it was named as such because of the cyclical way that if you're not protecting their eyes, the cyclical way that the swelling and pain in their eyes comes up. They used to think that it was actually coinciding with the full moon, which is really interesting. You know, modern research has found that that's not the case. It's just kind of whenever they're irritated, whenever they're, you know, antibodies are down, you know, or if they're more stressed or something, it's a flare-up. Like anything else can flare up, but they used to think that it was the same as the moon. Would you have an itchy nose, baby? Are you scritchy? Sometimes if you see a horse trying to scritch on something, you can kind of get it for them better than they could. Well, they could probably scratch harder against something, but we also don't want them to hurt themselves. You could get a splinter. All right, so you will see probably, we'll see. You might be getting used to it. I'm gonna start with the wither pull, same as I did on Mystery. I'm just pulling gently towards me and then releasing. Sometimes Chinook will step away from this because he's like, I don't know what you're doing. And I don't like it. It's weird. I know it's weird. So I've only been doing 3 with him, but I am gonna do the last 2 because we want to keep moving forward. Very good boy. Getting used to this. And also because it will help his back in the long run to be doing it more times. See, he's like, Ellie, stop. It's not hurting him. He's just confused and annoyed. Maybe not even annoyed. Confused and like, yeah, he just nudged me like, Ellie, stop. You got 2 more, bud. There was 4. Good job. 1 more. Good boy. Good job, my love. We'll move on to tail pull. That's good. This one's not hard. He's got a much thicker tail than Mystery. During the summer, Chinook sometimes winds up with the horse he runs. So he's used to me back here scrubbing his butt crack and his back legs and stuff. So he's very, very used to me doing weird stuff behind his butt. And then we're gonna release really boy. Very good. I'm gonna try one butt hunch with him. We haven't introduced this yet. Good boy. Good job. I'm gonna do 1 more because he did good. Good boy. Good. So we hadn't done that one with Chinook yet. Or I think we had tried to and he just wasn't actually kind of like engaging his back. Good job. All right, so we're gonna do the ones. Good boy. Yes, very good. So relax down. So Chinook gets a little confused about this one, but he's getting better. So we're just gonna try to do 1 circle in each direction and then good. Good. And then have him just hold his foot for a second. Good, right there. And then, good job. Good. Good job. Getting it. Good job. He's so smart. And a big lift. Yep. So they all tend to do that with the back feet. So they're used to people only picking up their feet to pick out their hooves, check for injuries, or to have the farrier come and trim them. So they're not used to holding their foot near the ground like this ever. Good boy! Good job! Oh my goodness, what a good boy! Alright, so that was amazing. That was so good! Yes, you are such a smart boy. On his back left, he actually let me... Good job! He actually let me do a full circle in each direction without trying to pull it back up. So it's just kind of a, you know, he's had 23, going on 23 years of only having his foot picked up so that we can clean out the bottom, right? So now he's learning, oh, okay, Ellie wants me to hold it near the ground and let her do stuff. And he trusts me, but he's still, you know, 2 decades of training versus whatever the heck Ellie's trying to do right now. Yes. I do those back tucks. So I'm going to push up first to try to get him to do it without running against the fur. He didn't. Good. He didn't at first. And push up. Good boy. You actually did a little bit there. Good boy. And we are going to do a full 5 today. I've been letting him off with 3 because he's been confused and learning something new. One more, my sweet. Good boy. Very good. Oh my gosh. You're just so sweet and smart. Good boy. All right, so back into the arena. Step over some ground poles. Sorry, silly, I know. I was like, well, I thought it was treat time. No, we're introducing something new. I was gonna do it last week, but we had ended on like a really good note. I think it was, he had finally done a button up. Or yeah, last Sunday. I've only been doing these once a week with Chinook until he figures them out, kind of like mystery. These were not technically prescribed for him, but the veterinarian said that there's no downside, especially to horses that carry us for so many miles. It is only good. So we're gonna step on over. And obviously I'm keeping an eye out if something does hurt him or makes him uncomfortable in a way that's not just trying to learn something unexpected. Then I would not be doing that. And I would report it to boss lady. And then we could get the vet/chiropractor out for him specifically. But so far he hasn't indicated in any way that he's uncomfortable. Very good. So we're gonna just do this one more time with Chinook. Just had to upset with Mystery because he's been doing them for a couple weeks now. One more time, each way. Here we go. We got 1 step in between on the 3rd pole, which is good. I kind of want 1 step in between 2 of them, and then 2 steps in between the other one. So I'm actually going to roll these a little closer. Different horses have different lengths of stride, of course. So one horse with particularly long legs might take 1 step in between all 4 of these, and one horse with particularly short. Just one more time. Put 1 foot in between both. Good boy. Oh, perfect. Very good. That was exactly what I wanted. But I'll probably have to spread them out a little more for Mystery. Yeah. Oh, he's looking on it. Good boy. Yeah, that was it. And now we get to do the fun part with the treat. My favorite. All the herd horses are staring expectantly because they're like, hey, hello? Do we get to go back down to pasture? One more step. Good job. Alright, so I'm going to grab the cookies out of the cooler here. Like I said, I don't want them in my pocket as a distraction. Maybe so good. And then we'll do the carrot stretches for Chinookums here. From under here. Hard to see under here. Hi, you're so handsome. Big step-ums. He's licking his lips. He's excited. Yes, you're very handsome. Are you ready? You gotta do the stretches, doll. That's part of the bribe. Yep, you can win. As far forward as we can. And then we're gonna pull him around to the side. And then, no, oh, he almost got it. And then we get a big Chinook hug. If any of you guys are unaware, Chinook is my baby. I love this horse. Such a good boy. I mean, I think everyone does. It's like not a big stretch forward. All just have very unique personalities that we love. He's so over there. He's so gentle with his lips when he's trying to grab the treat. I think I could probably hold him there longer because he's not trying to use his teeth to bite, which they usually switch to after a while. If they can't get it with their lips, then they'll try to, gently grab with their teeth. But he doesn't even ever switch to teeth. All right, so we're gonna use one to kind of get his attention on the one in my left hand because we needed him to go between his feet. Very good boy. Good bow. Good bow. And you gotta keep going. It's a good stretch. Hey, you're almost there. But what if I got treats for not doing that? Are we feeling a little tight today? Or is it because you still have a mouthful? Yeah, I heard it. It's really good for you. Good boy, right here. It's right here. Look. Good boy. We're not getting as big of a stretch out of Chinook today, and that's okay. He's 23. Plenty of years left, but that's a little older for a horse. He's not going to be as flexible as Mystery or as strong. Yeah. You did so good. Alright, so I'm going to put Chinook back. Yeah. Are you going to make silly faces for everyone? You want to give a kiss? You want to kiss? Ever teach this to young horses? Or any horse that hasn't been thoroughly gentled. You want to give a kiss? You gotta give kisses. You want to give kiss? Come here. You gotta Mwah. Good boy. So I'm going to put Chinook back, and I'm going to grab Rocket and both babies. There we go, yeah. Oh, those some good stretches, baby. Going through all these gates is loud and clanging, so I'm going to mute on and off, so not to blow your guys' eardrums out. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I did put the mic further away from my face this time. Come on, sweetie, you gotta go back. I know, I still have to work with the babies and Rocket, okay? But, yes, you're very handsome. But, yeah, going through the gates over and over makes loud screeching and clanging noises, so I'll probably mute on and off for a moment. I'm gonna go grab each one in an order I haven't decided yet. And then I will be right back on board. Alright, so this is Rocket. But also smart enough to be a big faker. I have seen this horse fake being cold because there was one time he was shivering, so I gave him some extra food. And then, despite it being well above freezing and him not being wet, he tried shivering at me for weeks, trying to convince me. But Ellie, I'm so cold. What if you just bring me one more place, okay? So I've learned that he's just a little bit of a faker. I actually worked with a horse down in San Diego before I moved here, named Ramsey. I loved him so much. King of faking it. Because we had the vet out, checked everything, and they were like, well, you know, maybe he's got some sort of problem with his shoulder. So I'd stretch out his shoulder before every ride. And if it was me riding him, he would not limp. Anyone else even tried to get him out of the pasture, he would start limping. And we're like, we're seeing a little bit of a behavioral thing here. And of course, we always take them seriously the first time we see them do something, right? Like I said, with Rocket, he was shivering and it was 10 degrees, so I gave him some extra food. But then I asked Abby, our other feeder, I said, has Rocket been shivering for you? She's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I was like, oh, okay, because every time I see him, he shivers. She's like, oh, no, because you gave him food the one time. I was like, yeah, that'll do. Alright, muting to get through some gates here. Alright, so this behemoth here, this gentleman Jack, he is his dam, so his mother was a Belgian draft horse, and his father was a Tennessee walking horse, as are almost all of our horses here. His father, well, his sister Lucy, that I'll bring out in a second, is full siblings with Jack's here, but both of their fathers is actually the same father as Augie. If any of you guys did tune in, it was kind of a quick session on Wednesday. But if you guys did tune in Wednesday, we had Augie out for to be our demo horse. Put him through his paces. They're half siblings to Augie, who has the same. Augie has the same sire, so the same dad. But Augie's mom is Lady Lonza back there, who's almost always seen standing next to you. He's the mama's boy. So that makes Lonza the stepmama of Jackson. Very good at being a mama. But she's also mommed people. Like, she mommed me sometimes, which is cute. Like, she'll chase her own babies away from me to give me space. Very, very sweet and very kind. I love seeing compassion in animals because I think a lot of people don't see it. You think, oh, well, it's just an animal. No, this is a living, breathing creature just like we are, and they have thoughts and feelings and emotions. Of course, we also need to make sure we're not anthropomorphizing them too much and applying our own feelings and emotions to the horses. But within reason, I find that horses can have and show empathy, compassion, and quite high intellect. Speaking of which, hi Lucy, our smartest girl. I don't know how well you guys can see, but with Lucy back there, we're working on making sure that they don't try to pull their head away when we go to halter them. So I kept trying to distract her and engage her until she put her head near me, then let me put the halter on without trying to pull away. Persistence is very important with horses. Sometimes they will just get annoyed enough that they'll do what you want. So it's a good time, hilarious. Alright, so this is Lady Lucy. She's 3, full sibling to Jack's here, meaning she is also half draft horse. And half sibling to Augie back there, same dad. Augie was the one that was kind of sniffing at her while I was working on getting her haltered. Good girl. I need to remember to ask for new halters for both of these horses. Lucy's used to be Jax's that he grew out of, and Jax grew out of his own, which maybe we could put on Lucy wherever. I haven't even seen it. And then the one that's on Jax right now is Jasper's, because Jasper has the biggest head of any of our Tennessee Walkers. But Jasper's barely fits Jax, so we need an actual draft horse halter for him. You got a twig in your tail. What'd you do? Ew, it's like a thorny twig. Alright. We're gonna have the babies just stand and learn patience. They're both gonna be playing game 0. Rocket's been doing a great job playing game 0 while I went and got them. So he's going to be first to be put into the round pen. Got one whip real quick. This part of friendly game. Desensitizing. Desensitizing includes 2 whips. Rocket is very responsive to whips and ropes moved in his direction. Good training. Good groundwork when he was younger. So Mr. Rocket here, his birthday is April 18th, 2005. And as I said, he came to us in 2009. So we got him when he was 4 and he's been here ever since. He's a very good boy, a little lazy because he figured it out. He was named Rocket because when he was a baby, he was born and bred in Montana, up 9 Mile area by Tucson. And he would just get the zoomies all over the place when he was younger. As an adult, he has calmed down a bit. So first off, I'm just going to let him free in here and see what he does. He can go sniff around. He can follow me. I'm trying to not be engaging. Good boy. For a moment. So that he can kind of explore his surroundings. This is more important with the babies. Because some of the older horses do know what a round pen is, what a lunge whip is, and they kind of know what to expect in here, so they might not be as interested in sniffing around and seeing stuff, but we want to foster and nurture the curiosity, the bravery to explore a new place in our horses. So we're still going to give them a moment to look around. Thankfully, it's been warm enough the past few days that I've been able to actually get the poopies off the ground. Good boy! Because they were glued down. Good! Hi, baby! What a good boy! And we always love when our horses come to us. Hi! Great boy! Oh, have you seen Chinooku's silly face? Are you trying to do that? I don't have any treats for you, my love. Alright, so first part of friendly game. Let's just petting all over. We want our horses to, first of all, be comfortable with us touching them wherever we need to. And second of all, we want them to understand that, you know, we want them to feel good too. So since Rocket is not trying to nibble right now, I'm allowing him to sniff at me. That's fine, he can sniff. He doesn't know what I'm doing. I've never done this with him before. Ever. I've ridden this horse a few times. Most recently was at Blue Mountain. We had a wedding party for an off-site ride, and it was 6 women. So when it's that many people, especially for longer rides, we will have a guide in the front and a drag in the back. And it is not a drag to be the drag. You pretty much just get to, you know, you watch out for all the guests and the horses and stuff because you can see them better in the back, or pass on what you know the guide is about to say for some upcoming obstacle. But it was awesome. I just got to go ride Rocket in the forest, and it was beautiful, and I loved it. It's very cold though. You did great. Hi, buddy. So that was the friendliest part of friendly game. I'm gonna let him wander around if he wants to, because I wasn't asking anything of him by petting him. In fact, him coming up to me, the petting was kind of a reward for. Rocket is sure that he's constantly starving, even though he probably has the best body proportion of any horse that we have right now. It is winter, and at 21 he is quite an easy keeper. Easy keeper means that they maintain their weight and health on the easiest food, which would be hay in our case. The other horses that are getting grain are not as easy of keepers. So I haven't asked him anything other than just letting me in his space. Hi. Boy, hi buddy. You're just eating poop over there, so I'm gonna interrupt that. Hello, I don't have any cookies for you. I'm gonna clean his eye booger if I don't have him. I'm a constant eye booger cleaner. Yeah, that's much better, huh? Some horses actually like it when you rub their eyes. I mean, we like it when we rub our own eyes. And they can't rub theirs. Some also like their ears scratched, either behind or inside. When I groom the horses, I do try to brush out the inside of their ears. Yeah, I feel that Rocket does like his inside ear scratch. Good boy. So now he's gonna work away and see if he'll follow. Or now he's gonna realize, oh wait, Ellie's doing something. What's Ellie doing? I'm gonna walk right past him, see if he doesn't hit me. Good boy, very good. Good job. Horses are pretty good about that when you're on their left side. So next up is continuing friendly game. Is we're just going to make sure that he understands that since I'm not actually doing anything with the lead rope, because the lead rope is a tool that extends my arm and extends the energy behind me asking with my arm. We're just kind of rubbing it all over first. We're not asking him anything. I have him fully at liberty right now, which means that he's not attached to me in any way, shape, or form. He is fully free to do whatever he wants, and he's doing great, realizing that I'm not actually actively asking him anything with the rope right now. Oh, exactly what we want. So I'm going to swing it around his leggies. Yep, all four. I will let him sniff me if he wants, as long as he doesn't engage with nibbling in any form, not just teeth. If he's trying to grab my clothing with his lips, I will push his head away as well. Yeah. Oh, you always get that little rope in your ear. You silly. You silly. Good boy. Yes, you are. So I'm going to resume because he did move away last time, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm going to keep on with him. I gotta move. Very good. The easiest thing to do is just stand still. See, okay, I like this here. Now he's engaged with me, he's listening. And I was fine with him not being, because, you know, desensitizing is a little less necessary with our herd horses. One thing I really like to do is drag a rope alongside them and around them. Because sometimes when you're out on the trail, something drops and it's dragging, and we don't want them to be like, ah, it's me, yeah. I've seen Rocket here, if he's a lead horse, he's a little more spooky, which is common out of all horses, honestly. When they're just kind of in the pack, like in the line, they trust the horse at the front to be watching out for them. But the horse in the front has to be the one watching out. Someone's asking something. Very good. And so now if he lets me do those last few moves without moving, I will stop this game and we'll move on to exercising with the lunge whip. But the horse up front always has to have their head on a swivel, trust the rider, because they're looking out for every horse. Very good. So he'll be a little spookier in front, and I've seen this horse spook at like a weird flower he didn't see last week. You know? He kind of blows it out of proportion. He's a very good actor. Yeah, he would. You should have been on Yellowstone. Yeah. Yellowstone. We'll be in the be guest actors. And I think they're done with that show, but I think they have like a bunch of like prequels and sequels and stuff lined up. They do film that here. The cast and crew actually stayed at the hotel I used to work at. They're very nice. Well, they were, yeah. I mean, they just acted like normal people, and I treated them like normal people, and I think they liked that. Good job. Drag this one around behind us too. It's not a snake. It is not a snake, Rocket. It's following me. That's not bad. I do like when the horse is, he's understanding, like, oh, is Ellie gonna make me work now? Alright, so that was it for friendly game. Next one, I will keep the one whip in my hand, but we're just gonna ask him to yield. So we're gonna ask his forequarters just by applying steady pressure, porcupine game. But I'm not asking quarters. You might be confused. There's the front, good. So I remove the pressure the second you move the front. Good. I'm not asking you to full step. You might be confused about this. As I said, I don't know how long it's been since any of these horses have been done, that we've done gun work with. Good. I'm gonna ask 2 steps this time. Just the front is all I'm asking. Sometimes you can, good. Good boy, very good. Good job, very good boy. So sometimes you kind of want to like push their head away from you, and you can use, you know, either a lunge whip, a rope, or something towards their head. Sometimes even a hand is good. This is actually game 3, is moving based on energy like this. So he's doing really good. But we don't want to skip games, my friend. Okay. I'm in the middle. Well, try to move his forequarters with just steady pressure. I'm moving his head a little bit to give him an idea. He moved 2 feet, great. So I did remove pressure just to, you know, tell him, hey, yeah, that is what I'm asking. Good, keep going. Good boy, good. Well, good boy. He did great. He moved away. He did move forward a little bit, but that was totally acceptable because he didn't swing his hind end to me. That was lovely. So next we're just gonna move his back end. This is usually easier than moving the fore. Good boy. And just keep going. Good, because I know he can do this. Easy for him. Move his hind end on this side. Good boy. I'm gonna keep the pressure up because I want him to swing all the way. Good. Very good. Good. All right. Rocket's doing amazing right now, so I'm gonna see if we can demo game 3 real fast because the babies aren't gonna get to that for a little bit. But game 3 is increasing pressure without touching them. Good. And then the second they do what we want, the pressure is the energy. This is, as I said, we're conveying that with our hands and with our tools, aka the swinging rope or the swinging lunge whip. Yes, you're doing very good. So we're just gonna apply pressure until he moves. Good. Well, very good. And then we're gonna try the same at the back. Okay. He's moving forward. I'm gonna keep it up till he moves sideways. Good. So I did finally get a sideways cross step out of him there. Great job, buddy. That's really good. We're gonna do the back again. I'm gonna give him a little bit of a hint here. He's like, what the heck are you doing? Good boy. You keep going. Hint, hint. Good boy. Good. Very good boy, Rocket. That was great. And now, come with me. Come forward. Thank you. Good. Well, and then we're going to try it backwards. Same thing. Back up. Good boy. Wow, Rocket. You're the king of the games, buddy. What a good job. That was amazing, buddy. He's like, where's my cookie jar? So that's actually game 3, which, like I said, the babies haven't even quite figured out game 2 yet. So we're still on game 2 with them. But that's really awesome that we got to a point with Rocket here that we could do a demo of game 3. Come with me. Good boy. Okay, well, good. All right. Good boy. Very good job, Rocket. Wow. Great job, buddy. You did so good. I'm not even going to lunge you. That was perfect. That was wonderful. You did great, buddy. You did so good. All right, so on that note, we're going to put Rocket back. He is wonderful horse when he's not in lazy bones mode. He's like, no, I liked it in here. This was fun. Winter is, you know, it's their off season for a reason. They work very hard for us during summer. So we don't want to ask them too much. But a mental exercise is great for them. Yes, hi buddy. Come on. You did great, friend. A little bit of mental exercise and some physical is great for them, but they're mostly on vacay for another month or so. What month is it? February 1st? Yeah, a couple months still, probably. Alright, so I'm going to tie Rocket back up. He's great at patience, so he'll just chill. And then, let's see. Who wants to go first? Jax has a very adorable pompadour right now because they keep getting into the birds down in the pastures. Lucy's actually being very lovely right now. So we're going to go with you. Hi, Juju. Same thing as we did with Rocket, except we will probably stop with either game 1 or 2, depending on how Lucy's doing. Oh, yeah. I will, of course, let her sniff around for a second. If she's curious at all, or if she's in, sometimes Lucy's in boredom mode. And when Lucy's bored, she can kind of push her boundaries. Let her off, but I'm going to keep the lead rope in my hand because I don't want her to test boundaries without me having anything but my hands, because this length of rope makes my hands longer, and the further away you are, the safer you are. Yeah, is that the lunge whip? Are you playing with the lunge whip? Please don't actually eat it, Miss Lucy. Thank you. Good girl. So I'm stepping way back so that I'm not applying pressure. Being in their space applies pressure, and the fence on the opposite side applies pressure. So if you step towards their front, they might step backwards or try to turn the front away, and we never want them to turn their butt towards us in a round pen, or in general. It's very rude. And if I step towards her back half of her, that will apply pressure on both sides, so just forward. So I am stepping up just to see. She did move. That was great. Good girl. So she is also interested in eating random specks of poop. All you poop eaters. Horses are obligate arthrophagists, meaning in the wild they do have to eat their own poop to survive because their digestive system isn't as good as like a cow's or any other ungulate, which have chambered stomachs where they process their food. Horses process their food. They do all of their breaking down in their hindgut, aka their colon. So we call them hindgut fermenters. But their colon is after their stomach and after their intestines, where they would be absorbing things. So they need to sometimes do a little bit extra absorbency. Lucy's doing great with this part, of course. Being pet, there's no downside to that. I mean, it could be kind of boring. Do you want to come with me? Lucy? Lucy, come with me. There we go. Good girl. I'm gonna lead her into the middle. Good girl. I didn't want to. Oh, in a good spot, Lucy. I didn't want to put myself between the fence and her off other side for the petting part of filmmaking. She's doing great. She did great with patience game today too. I'm just touching all over. Horses like their belly scratched. Yes, she does. Yeah, as mammals, horses are in a placenta when they're in the womb, and that means they have belly buttons. They're right on their tummy. Very good girl. Very good this time. Lucy, you see a little weird about this one. Putting a rope over her ear. She's doing great. Good girl. But I'm going to keep going really quick with Lucy because she's prone to boredom. And I don't want to foster her acting out in boredom. I want to foster her being interested and excited to engage with us. She's doing great with all of this. We'll do the other side real quick. Switch to the lead rope, and then we'll move on to game 1 with Lady Lucy. Instead of fully at liberty like I did with Rocket, I will be doing games 1 and 2. Game 2. This is game 1. I will be doing them with them on a lead rope. They're not quite at the stage where you can let them off without them getting distracted because they're babies. And we all know when we were babies, we were distracted too. All right, next up is the same thing with the lead rope. Hi. Yep, we're eating food. That's fine. She's at liberty right now, and that's fine because I do want her to be used to whatever touches her. We're avoiding the super sensitive spots, of course. Get a good girl. Yeah. And when we first started, Lucy really didn't like the lunge whip by her head. Understandable, right? Because sometimes we do put it near their head to move their head away from us. Especially the babies can get kind of mouthy, but see how much better she's doing now? Yeah, she's doing great. What a good girl. Alright, so I'm just going to drag this along for a sec so that they know it's not a snake. And then we're going to help her up. Back up for me. Do you know that one? Do you remember that one? Good girl. Okay, that was great. Yes, good girl. Alright, so porcupine game. Remember, we are applying pressure, constant, consistent pressure. And I'm not pulling on the lead rope, but I do have it in hand, so if she tries to walk away from me and turn her butt towards me, I can correct that. Alright, so I'm just applying steady pressure. Good. She did step away. She stepped forward, but that's okay. I relieved the pressure from her side the second she stepped 1 foot away from me. Thank you. Again, I'm pulling her to the middle because the panels are still pressure. So I'm going to ask her to move. Good girl. Whoa. So I'm applying no pressure right now other than I'm going to move a little towards her head because she tried to get in my space. Good girl. So we're just moving her butt. Good. So she doesn't know that one yet. But she was moving away without pressure. Come on, you can do it. Oh. So I applied the pressure and then her moving away removed the pressure from herself. So she is moving away from me right now. Which, as I said, if I was asking anything other than walking towards her hindquarters, would be game 3. But I'm not actually asking anything. She's trying to predict it. So now we're gonna try to keep her out of our space with the lunge whip, okay? And now we're gonna apply the pressure to the front half. And as I said, sometimes kind of moving their head away. Good girl. And then I'm gonna keep it up. She turned her head away. Perfect, good girl. Good job. Okay, so now I'm gonna try without the lunge whip. That didn't work. That gets her to turn her head. Good. Very good. Now we're gonna ask for more than 1 step. I know, it's very annoying. Wait, come on. Good girl. Good girl. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, that's not right. That's right. You're going backwards, sweetie. Good girl. 1 more step. Good girl. So I'm asking for 2 steps now because we've been asking for 1 step repeatedly. So she's getting distracted. Sometimes they're distracted because they don't understand what you're doing. Sometimes just because they're babies. You did great, sweetie. That was so good. Come back to the middle. Now we gotta do the other side on the front, okay? So we're gonna do the same thing on the off side. Let's see. Well. Okay. And again, we're applying pressure just to her front half. Like, I'm not even trying to put the pressure where we would if we were in a saddle yet. So we're still just trying to get yielding to pressure. Yielding to steady pressure. So good girl. No, not forward. Good girl. Very good. Keep going. Just the front half. She's moving away from me, which good. Perfect. All right. I'm just here. There's also kind of a trick here that can help them is, see, all of our work with the friendly game means that I can reach around her and have the ropes and stuff like that, is you can apply the pressure on their head on the opposite side. Because we want them to, I'm pushing her head away, sorry, because we're working still. We want them to yield to pressure on their head as well. So I'm going to pull on her left side of her head right now. No. Swing the right side until she moves her head away. Good. Okay, and then I've noticed with this is that some horses are better at feeling the pressure. This is on her left, right? Is where this is pressing. But it might just feel like pulling back to a horse that doesn't quite understand. So we're actually going to move it up to the front. Let's go from the outside. It's not going to, this isn't for very long. And then we're going to see if she'll understand that I'm pulling right instead of back. And I'm just going to keep that pressure up until she pulls her head to the other side. If she keeps trying to pull against it. Good. Good. And now we'll ask her to move away. Good. Very good girl. Good girl. Okay, well, that was perfect. Great job, Lucy. Such a smart girl. Wow, that was so smart. So that can kind of help them figure it out if they're having trouble understanding. So we're going to just pull on that left side again. She turns towards us or into our space. We're going to apply pressure with the lead rope swinging, not hitting her. Keep in mind, we're asking her to turn her head. I'll release the pressure if you turn your head, girl. So it's steady pressure, so she can release the pressure herself just by turning into it. So this is why when Catherine was working with them, she actually was using the lunge whip that made a noise. Because Lucy and I are at a standoff right now. Right, I'm gonna actually push the girl. See how that relieves the pressure? Girl. All right, good girl. All right. And now we'll ask her to move her legs. She's already there. Good girl. And immediately relieved all pressure. Good girl. And we're going to try again. Because we're not going to be out stubborn. Good girl. One more step. Good girl. Well, you're good. Very good. So that was wonderful. Good note to end on that side. We're going to try, since the other side she was receptive to the rope, or yeah, to the rope swinging. I just want to reinforce this on both sides real quick. So again, we're going to pull on this side. Horses usually have a good side. Good girl. Very good. And now, good flex. Very good flex. Good girl. Good. All right, and now we're going to do the same thing. So we're applying pressure on our shoulders. So we want our step away. Good girl. Very good girl. Oh, good job. So I did walk with her, which is applying pressure. But as I was saying whoa, and Lucy does know what whoa means, that was more of a safety precaution for me because I don't want her to walk away from me and turn her butt straight at me. That was great, good girl. So that was game 1 and 2 with Miss Lucy. She did great. And it's, in fact, she honestly is probably close to where we can start doing what we were doing with Rocket. She just kind of has to be in like the mindset. Yeah, see, she's like, I don't know what you're doing. But in conjunction, maybe? Good girl. Now I want her to keep moving. Good girl. Yeah, 1 step towards step 3. You're so smart. So smart. Good girl. All right, that was amazing. So we're going to put Miss Lucy to your back. Lucy with the fur. And then we're going to grab Mr. Jax. Are you eating the lunge whip again, too? Yeah. Does the lunge whip mean work? Yes, it does. You do great. Yes, you do. So we're going to put her back to game 0. This is when she starts to not do as good at game 0. So she's like, hurry up. But 3 years old for a horse is like, well, humans don't age at the same rate, but quite young when it comes to patience. Doing great though. That was a very wonderful lesson, Miss Lucy. Yes. All right, and then Miss Jax, Gentleman Jax. Very good. Gentleman Jax is a little more nibbly, especially when you're untying him. Good boy. So I let him choose to get out of my space right there as I was untying. You made the right choice. That's very good. We don't mind them sniffing us. We don't want them using their mouth as a hand, especially this and these 2 babies. I'm learning for quite some time. Hey, you're not off yet, my friend. No, don't eat the poop. That's not your poop. You can eat your poop. And we're not in the wild. That's pony poop. Right. This is also another way that horses can pass parasites between them, eating another horse's poop. But that is why we don't have any strained horses on the ranch. So we have what's called a closed herd. Though they can still get, if like a bird lands on their poop, pick at it, and then poop itself, the bird can pass on the parasite as much as another horse can. Particularly this year, we had really bad bot flies. They're not quite the ones that like you hear about the horror stories in Africa where they dig into people's skin, but they do lay their eggs on their fur, and then we have to get the eggs out, otherwise the horse will itch themselves with their teeth. Obviously, those are the, when we're scratching, we don't use our teeth. So I will say sometimes, like when your palm is itching, you got clean hands, that tooth scratch helps. But they ingest the eggs that way, and then the larvae are in their gut and can cause problems. So again, we're just letting Jax roam around, explore, fostering bravery, fostering intelligence, fostering curiosity, and also I'm grabbing a sip of caffeine. And like I said, Rocket, the king of patience game over here. And Lucy's actually doing amazing too. It helps like it's a nice calm day. Windy days, wind is scary. The old wives' tale is that horses, when the wind, first of all, obviously the wind makes it harder to hear predators, but then the old wives' tale portion of it is that the wind howls through their ears because of the shape of their ears. Hi, bud. I'm just trying to pet ya. So he can sniff me. Good. He just uses his lips. I'm going to push on this cheek. Cheek push, I was told, is how mamas turn their foals around. Is the push on their cheek to get them to move their head. Good job. So that's been working pretty good. The last few times I haven't quite been running my hand all the way down their legs. Doing that. Jax has got big feathers. Good job! Oh, you moved this thing. Okay, good. So he's currently at liberty, so he doesn't have to. But again, I want the horses to want to come up to us. There's some horses, like when I was working with my landlord's colt, if he saw you with a halter, he was like, and he wanted to run away. So one way to work on that is I would have my landlord, I was like, hey, anytime you're out there, walk around with a halter all the time, so that he doesn't just think, oh, halter means work. So I can put you on the other side. Yeah, I need to move over there, that's it. And it wouldn't be very safe. Good job. I gotta remember to put the, did I remember? We have I bought us a detangler spray to help get these burrs out of the mane and forelocks and stuff, because I hate cut a mane or a forelock. And I think I did remember to finally put it in where it would thaw because it was frozen solid, which doesn't help us very much in winter. Look at Jax, nice and relaxed. Look at his dock. Horses, I have to really trust you to let you do that, but it does feel really good to them. So I'm just petting. The dock again is the tail portion under their hair, and he's doing very, very good. See how he held his tail. We love building trust. It wasn't Wednesday. The babies were just on patience game because I had a meeting. But last Sunday, Lucy and I kind of had a moment at the end of the training. So she did kind of push a boundary with me. So I had her move her feet, kind of distract her from being like, oh, he's soft and squishy. I'm going to show her that. We don't want that. But she and I, at the end of our session, had a very nice, calm. We just took some deep breaths together, and we both kind of sighed, and it was a really, really good bonding moment. I knew that was really good. If you missed it. It was just beautiful. It was one of those, like, there we go. See? We're still friends, even though I'm asking things of you right now that you might not necessarily want to do. But if they want to be contributing members of our herd, you're going to have to learn. I think if anything, Lucy will probably be good for a guide horse. She's so smart. And I think she'd get bored just following along. Jax, I think, would love to be one of our line horses. Follow along? Just walk? That's great. Jax loves that. If anything, keeping up might be harder for him. So obviously he's great this time of game. He's super relaxed right now. He's enjoying the sun's kind of peeking out from behind some partial clouds. He loves the attention. He just enjoys. And this game is easy and doesn't require him to really think or do anything. So for a lazy horse, it's the best thing ever. Yes! Game one. Benji. That's good. We're touching him all over. Like the lunge rope, including his little head. There's his little pompadour. Then with the lunge rope. All hips, obviously. There we go. Horses, we call it dropping when they're relaxed. It also helps them cool off, the males, the geldings. All of our horses are gelded, meaning they're neutered. So it's not any sort of excitement for breeding or anything like that. It's just relaxation, calm. They love to see it. Yeah, even though it can be really awkward to explain to children or viewers. Part of nature. Yeah, good job, buddy. You did great. So again, we're gonna drag along in a circle. Oh no! I didn't realize the mic had fallen off my pocket. Let me put it back on. Hopefully you guys heard some of that. Or if not, I was talking about horse genitals, so you probably didn't even hear it. Alright, so yeah, we're just walking in a circle. Great job! Easy peasy for the Jax. He loves standing still. That's his favorite thing. Unfortunately, two. Porcupine game, where he's gonna have to move his speedies. So, as with Lucy, I'm not gonna have them at full liberty for this one because they will tend to try to walk away from you when you're asking them to move laterally. Laterally being sideways, right? So I'm gonna ask him to move his hindquarters with steady pressure. Oh boy. I only asked for one step and I didn't ask for forward. But this was great for Jax. This was huge. He did not continue into my space. He did still stop, despite not stopping where I asked him or where I released the pressure. He didn't walk into my space because he's the king of stepping into your business and he's gigantic. So it's really important that he knows personal space. And without me having to apply any additional pressure, like I was about to swing this towards his head to keep his head away, I didn't have to. And that was a huge moment for Jax. That was amazing, buddy. Good job. All right, so there is some space on the far side, and I'm feeling really good with Jax right now. I'm feeling safe, so I'm going to ask him on this side. I'm going to ask the back again. Be consistent. Easier to learn with consistency. So I'm just asking him to move his back feet away from me. Good boy. Good. Now he's trying to move into my space, though. Good. So horses, like I said, they always have a good side and a bad side. That was fine. That was all right. Don't worry about it. So all I did was swing the lunge whip towards his head to get him to move his head away and to stop him moving his front end into my space. So now with Jax, this works well with, I think, the lead rope last time. So we'll try it with the lunge whip this time to get him to move on the front end. So we still have him on the lead rope, but we want him to be able to flex to turn away from us, obviously. So with Lucy, we had to switch this. No, baby. I don't like the ones that are super long and squishy. You're very cute. And it's a squishy though, we're still working, okay? So I'm gonna push here, apply a little bit of pressure here, and I'm gonna keep pushing on his shoulder. And if I have to, on his cheek right here, like his mama would, until he moves his feet away from me. Front feet away. So he moves forward, not ideal. Well, thank you. Because all we're asking, no, we're not eating one, but all we're asking right now is for him to move his front end away from us. But I am removing the pressure once he steps away with the front, and the pressure will resume if he keeps walking away. But a lazy horse like Jax, he wants to stop any moment now. Either that or he thinks we're lunging, which, we're not quite there yet, bud. Good. So he did stop and he didn't step into my space. His head is a little bit, but he didn't move his front of his body into my space, which is what he's been really bad at. Okay, so we're gonna keep trying this. We keep trying until he gets it, because all we're asking is for him to move his front. 2 steps, bud. I know, you want to eat the lunch whip. That's fine. Okay? The lunge whip's not working for this, so we're going to try the swinging rope. So we're going to apply the pressure to his shoulder, and we're going to ask him to move his head away from us. Good. Good! Very good boy! Good job! See, that was all I was asking. 1 step with the front end. Right, we're going to try again. 1 step with the front end. Or playing game, we don't want them to lean into us. We want them to move away. Good. Well, good boy! So he's not full cross-stepping like Lucy was. Yeah, he's not quite as agile, but we're not going to give him that pass. Good, very good. Now we're going to ask him full steps. So by asking him to move towards this rail, I'm applying pressure, but I want him to turn into it. Come on, yes, you good. Good boy, just like that. Good job. Oh, good. But we don't want him to, you did that, we're not pulling our left. Very good boy. That was so good, buddy. Good job. So his options there were smack into a fence or turn his head and keep moving along with the rail. And he obviously made the proper choice there. He did try to keep walking, but that's fine. Can you walk along the side? Good boy. Very good. So we love that he moved away. He's cutting corners a little bit. Good boy. Very good. Okay, you will. Well, turn towards the spine, but you gotta stop those feet. Very good. That was actually wonderful. I know that Catherine had done some work with lunging with these two, but that was perfect. And when I asked him to stop, he turned his head in. We want their body to stay parallel, but the first step to getting them to even stop is having them turn towards us. And that's especially important for turning, because if you guys checked in on Wednesday with Augie, we really need them to turn towards us. We never want them to turn their butt towards us. It's unsafe. Jax is currently looking like he's napping. Oh my God. I really take a picture for you guys. It's so silly. Do you have a little pompadour? No, that was really good. So yielded to pressure on the front on both sides and the back on both sides. I'm gonna ask him one more time in the back over here, because he was doing a lot of moving forward. Push the back, good. Push the back. Okay. He's just kind of walking in circles, so we want him to pivot. I'm going to put a little more pressure on the front. Good. But, again, we need Jax to stop out of our space. He's still trying to move into my space. Good. So we're trying not to confuse him. Yes, you're very flexible. Right? But I'm asking you to move your back end, but not your front. Good. Well, perfect. Great ending there, bud. I mean, he's still pivoting a little bit. I'm going to do it one more time, because I told you good and stop. You're getting into my space again. Okay, can you... Oh, see, you're moving into my space. Good, right there. Right, I know. You can't just push people around with your big old head. Gosh, not people, okay? You can push all the horses around you want, alright? As long as you're done. Very good. Alright, so that was good for Jax. That was a good stopping point. He did great at game 0, A+ for that. Game 1, friendly game, A+ as well. Honestly, probably a solid B. Or Equine game. He's getting there. Once he's at an A, we'll start to work on the game 3 with him. He really has some idea of how to lunge, which means that he does understand pressure via energy. So we just have to translate that to them moving away while not lunging as well. Because as you guys saw with Rocket, we want them to move away from energy. Good. On the hind end. Very good. Or on any end. Front, back, left, right, sideways. A really well trained horse. You can have a stick, and you can have them dance sideways all the way down the arena. But we're not asking of that quite yet, buddy. Maybe we'll get there soon. Another thing Jax is bad at is when you go to tie him or untie him, he tries to eat you. Oh my goodness, what a good boy. He turned his head towards me, but he didn't try to grab my sweater, he didn't try to grab the mic, he didn't try to unzip my hoodie. He just kind of leaned towards me. That was great. So yeah, we'll just have a little moment. Good job, Jack. Yeah, A+. Yeah, A+. Alright, so that's all the work that I had to do with the horses, both the body work, babies. We are getting hay delivery later today, and I've got a couple fences I'm going to fix up, so you'll see me around for a bit, but I'm going to be off the mic. I don't even live this long. It's not as cold as it has been, but I'm going to let the horses go, fix some fences. The hay's coming at 1-ish, and I'd want a break before then, so I'm not here for like 7 hours straight without a break. So you'll see me around. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to post them in chat. If you're on YouTube and you're like, wait, I can't post in chat, just go ahead and check the description of the video. It's got a link to our website. Our website's, we have 3 cameras that you can watch all at the same time now. There's a chat where you can interact with me, with others in our lovely Dunrovin family that are distant. And also, if you guys have a recommendation for either Wednesday or Sunday sessions for the next demo horse. I kind of picked Rocket today because he was just being very pushy and in the way, and doing groundwork with a horse is a really good way to earn respect or to remind them of mutual respect. And we always want our horses to respect us, because a disrespectful horse is a dangerous horse. But none of our horses are dangerous, they're all sweet babies. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. And Ellie, hopefully you guys could at least have seen the barnyard for that. And yeah, any questions, please post in chat, comments, concerns, anything you want, ask me. And then I can either answer in chat, or I can answer vocally, or if there was something you wanted me to show you, like, hey, I couldn't quite see what you were doing when you were doing X part of Y game or something like that. If you bring it up, I can bring it up next time and show you guys from, you know, like stand on the camera side versus the off side. I find that you guys can see the horses better when I'm not in the way. So I often wind up doing things on the non-camera side, but if you can't quite see what I'm doing and you're curious, feel free to let me know. So thanks for tuning in, all of our Dunrovin family, and I'll be here for a bit, and let me know if you have any questions. Hi Garnet, I'm so pretty in pink. And I will be back on Wednesday at 10-ish. Alright, bye guys.